2025 is the year where we start to see nations getting behind crypto in a big way. First and foremost, obviously, the US was one of the major ones to really accelerate a lot of what we're seeing around crypto now, which is, the overall acceptance of stablecoins, the growing demand behind stablecoins as well, and also legislation behind stablecoins. I mean, right now, it seems as though we could have legislation behind stablecoins, but also even behind crypto by the end of the summer. And if that is the case, make sure to pay attention to all of the other nations in the world and what they do next. Because even now, if we go back to just May 28th, we have new. UK's Financial Conduct Authority opens public consultation on stablecoin and crypto custody rules. The UK has been behind crypto for a bit of time, but they have been really kind of hesitant. We do know that the UK said, and I think that this is back in 2022, might be 2023, that they want to become a crypto hub. Now, many nations actually want to become a crypto hub. We've heard this on multiple occasions, but a lot of them have yet to actually make any sort of movement on that. But now the UK is actually starting to make some moves. Now, I do think that this is to really kind of get in line with what the US has been doing. And of course, the EU with the MiCA. MiCA is a huge one. It's a huge standard, and ultimately it's clarity for crypto in the European region. So now all of these other nations are starting to move a little bit faster. But on top of this, we also got FCA registered BCB Technologies has launched TGBP, a British pound-backed stablecoin on Ethereum, calling it a live proof of concept for future UK stablecoin regulation. Now, this was on the 3rd. And like I said, this is May 28th. This is June 3rd. This is how fast things actually start to move once we start to see these nations get behind certain things like stablecoins. Now, on top of that, of course, Ripple just recently put out this post. At Ripple's UK Policy Summit earlier this year, one message was clear: the time to act is now. Recommendations for UK policymakers: build a growth-driven framework, lead on global standards, advance stablecoin adoption, tackle tokenization barriers. And what they're talking about actually is it's a UK policy summit that they actually held, and I believe this was back in April, actually. It's interesting because from this summit, we did get the UK's Financial Conduct Authority opening up public consultation on stablecoin and crypto custody rules, followed by the stablecoin launch. Again, Ripple is making sure that these nations get prepared. Now, on top of this, right, we did get the full breakdown. If we look into this, we have digital assets in the UK are at an inflection point. When we think about what's really going on, right, this is a global initiative. I think digital assets globally are at that inflection point. It's just a lot of these nations have yet to actually catch up. Now, since then, we have seen HM Treasury publishing draft legislation to set up the new regulatory framework for crypto assets. This is since April. And a series of consultations from the FCA covering crypto asset activity, stablecoin issuance and custody, and prudential treatment of crypto firms. We have also seen new participants announced for the digital security sandbox run by the FCA and the Bank of England, and announcement of a pilot to issue a digital UK government bond known as Digit. The opportunity for the UK is huge. If the regulatory framework is designed correctly, it can facilitate innovation, enhance financial inclusion, and solidify the UK's position as a competitive global financial center. This directly aligns with the government's #1 mission of boosting economic growth. The government can unlock this growth by supporting the development of the UK as a global hub for digital assets, but to do so successfully, it needs to create a regulatory framework that empowers financial institutions to incorporate and invest in digital assets and blockchain technology with confidence. Ripple convened a London Policy Summit in partnership. This is in partnership with the UK Center for Blockchain Technology and Innovate Finance, which we're going to go over here in a second, to explore how UK regulators can make the most of this opportunity. The summit gathered a range of experts from academia and industry to discuss the potential for the UK's new regulatory framework for crypto assets. It focused on these 3 key areas: what the UK can learn from regulatory practices from other jurisdictions, the role of stablecoins as a new form of money, and how to position the UK as a leader in tokenization. Very, very interesting. Now, these are the critical key areas. Recommendation number 1, driving digital asset investment and growth at pace. An open and international approach. Stablecoin circulation is key, so stablecoins are critical now. The UK should move faster on stablecoin regulation. Stablecoins will be a critical key to the digital economy. We support the UK's proposed approach to allow overseas issued stablecoins to circulate without local issuance requirements to solidify its role as an international financial center. AKA, let's open up the UK to USD-backed stablecoins. Welcome in RLUSD to the UK region. Recommendation number 4, tokenization could be the tipping point. Yeah, tokenization is the next big thing to focus on. Stablecoins actually enable tokenization at scale, so get stablecoins in place, tokenization follows quickly after. Blockchain technology is powering financial innovation in the UK. Blockchain technology enables direct transactions between parties, making cross-border payments cheaper and faster by reducing transaction fees and processing times. Blockchain also democratizes access to financial services by providing secure platforms for lending, borrowing, and investing. Oh, what a time to be alive, especially with the XRP ledger about to get lending and borrowing on it as well. And its decentralized and immutable ledger system reduces the need for manual record keeping and reconciliation. This leads to increased transparency and minimizes errors and fraud. And of course, in 2024, over 90% of major finance firms surveyed in the US, Asia, Europe, including the UK and the Middle East, were already handling cryptocurrency in some shape or form, including as part of testing the digital asset sector. By adopting blockchain technology, the UK can position itself as a leader in financial innovation. This would attract investment and foster a thriving fintech ecosystem, ultimately creating high-skilled jobs. Improved access to finance supports entrepreneurship and economic participation, while enhancing operational efficiency leads to cost savings as well. With more stablecoin use cases being proven and tokenized financial assets gaining traction in traditional finance, the UK's regulatory landscape must evolve now to capitalize on this opportunity and seize the moment to further cement itself as a leader in global finance. There is no more waiting. This is why I keep telling you guys that no, we don't have to wait 12 months, 24 months. There's no more waiting, okay? These areas in the world, the UK, the UAE, Brazil, the Asian areas as well. We look at Singapore, Hong Kong, all of these big places are now trying to get behind the space in a big way. Why? Because the race is here. It's already started. So now they have to catch up. Now we're going to start to see some very big moves out of all of these areas, including, of course, the UK. Now let's actually go back to that original post from April 6th from Ripple. Crypto assets are a global opportunity, and the UK has the chance to lead. At Ripple's UK Policy Summit last week, industry leaders explored how smart regulation, stablecoins, and tokenization can fuel growth, innovation, and global competition. Now, the Digital Pound Foundation highlighted this post, right? The UK is at a critical juncture in the digital asset space. At Ripple's UK Policy Summit, we discussed how the UK can solidify its position as a global leader in digital assets. With the upcoming regulatory framework, there's a huge opportunity to unlock growth, from faster cross-border payments to the tokenization of financial markets. To succeed, we must act with urgency and develop a clear, risk-sensitive approach to regulation. It's time for the UK to lead the way in this fast-evolving sector. The UK has an exciting opportunity to be a global leader in digital assets. Ripple's UK Policy Summit highlighted the urgent need for clear, effective regulation to drive innovation and growth in the sector. The key word here is urgent, right? They need to be fast with this. From faster cross-border payments to financial market tokenization, digital assets can transform economies. But to get there, the UK must act quickly and develop a risk-sensitive regulatory framework. Let's lead the way in shaping the future of digital finance. Now, again, here we have that full breakdown from Ripple. Obviously, I don't want to go over too much here because, again, I don't want to waste your guys' time. And there's a lot that I actually want to go over prior to, just talking about this stuff. But the main thing about the UK, right, that I want everyone to understand on why it's such a huge opportunity for the UK to lead around digital assets is because of how big of a name they are around like the FX market. For an example, we have with growing consensus that blockchain technology will transform financial markets, the UK already boasts a globally leading competitive financial services center. and with particular strengths in FX, the FX market, foreign exchange market, because they dominate a large percentage of the foreign exchange market, which is a $7.5 trillion per day market. Capital markets, insurance, and professional services, the UK has all the building blocks to be a global leader in digital assets. However, with this, right, we really kind of look at all of these other jurisdictions like the European Union, Singapore, Hong Kong. All of them are already further ahead with crypto asset regulation. So there is increasing pressure on the UK to move faster with its rulebook than ever before, especially at a time where the US is starting to accelerate everything as well. And of course, Ripple is there trying to make sure that they are getting the ball rolling. What's crazy about this is, Ripple is there, right? And they even say down here, next steps for the UK. Ripple has a significant footprint in the UK with a large regional office hub in London, as well as long-standing support for the UK developer ecosystem and talent pipeline via support for the XRP Ledger Grants Program and the University Blockchain Research Initiative. The UK Policy Summit highlighted the opportunity for the UK to compete internationally as a digital asset hub, powering the government's growth and competitiveness agenda, and bringing tangible benefits to the UK firms and consumers. So when we think about what's actually going on here, Ripple is already there, and they want to help the UK get behind this major revolution as fast as possible. This reminds me significantly of a few things. Let's go back to December of 2024, where RLUSD got announced, right? The Digital Pound Foundation said RLGBP has a nice ring to it. Yeah, a digital pound, specifically a pound stablecoin, is going to happen. In fact, it already did, right? We already got, TGBP. But I do think that Ripple is also going to launch one. Why? Well, they already gave us an insight on how big Ripple has been in the UK. Ripple already has a major name there, a large regional office. They already have support for the developer ecosystem. Like when we think about Ripple in the UK, they've been in the UK for quite some time now. And now they're also a part of all of these heavy discussions. Like for an example, the one with Innovate Finance. At Innovate Finance's Global Summit, IFGS 2025, we were delighted to host a private roundtable with Coinbase, Circle, and Ripple to discuss the future of stablecoins. Let me take a step back real quick. When you hear the names Coinbase, Circle, and Ripple, what do you think? Well, Coinbase is one of the most dominant, exchanges in crypto. Circle is one of the most dominant stablecoin issuers in crypto. Where does Ripple stand here? Ripple is one of the most dominant companies in crypto. The session brought together CEOs and leaders from across the fintech and crypto ecosystem alongside senior policymakers from the Bank of England, the Treasury, and the FCA. The key takeaways included new use cases are emerging every day and range from SME exports and remittances to day-to-day micropayments to companies such as Uber and Deliveroo. There is also the potential to address financial inclusion as cash usage and acceptance decreases. This is already a mature market. It is happening now, with stablecoins high on the agenda across financial services as payment firms, challenger banks, and financial applications seek to embrace the opportunity to innovate. Stablecoins not only enable faster and cheaper transactions, but provide new value-added services and innovation. Proportionate and pro-innovation regulation is essential in order for the UK to drive forward these opportunities. The current proposed dual regime approach for systemic and non-systemic stablecoins needs to be reviewed as it is counterintuitive for stablecoin issuers seeking to grow. And what's crazy about this, okay, first and foremost, think about how insane some of these meetings actually are. Like we have Ripple meeting with, central banks and government officials to talk about what they need to be doing with crypto. Ripple is just a random company in crypto, right? Like we're not supposed to put, a bunch of, weight behind Ripple's name, are we? This is why I keep saying that Ripple is not just another company in crypto. They are an enabler of this digital financial revolution, the internet of value. They've always had a role to play, and so does XRP. And then also we got this April 29th, stablecoin, the UK opportunity, how the UK can be the leading global market and innovator for stablecoin. New from the Digital Pound Foundation and Innovate Finance, the UK must act now to lead the global stablecoin economy. Our new report from Innovate Finance, titled Stablecoin, the UK Opportunity, sets out a clear framework to make the UK the world's most attractive jurisdiction for stablecoin innovation, growth, and regulation. With the right action, Britain can unlock stablecoins' full potential across payments, AI, and digital finance. I'm telling you guys right now, RLGBP is going to be a thing. And I do think that Ripple and XRP and the XRPL are going to play a vital role in the UK playing catch up. The US is putting an immense amount of pressure on every single nation to get behind stablecoins and digital assets right now. No longer can these nations wait. The time is now, and the clock is ticking. We are about to see these markets unlocked in a big way, and it is starting with the UK now. The US is already there. The US market is already unlocking. Next up is the UK. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.